So do you guys ever see those couples that are out and about and they've been together forever, but they treat each other well badly? They're just kind of like miserable, and you look at it and you're like, man, I never want to be like that. Well, this is the answer. That's why to the topic. So look at this perspective. That's why I say you should prioritize quality relationships over long-term relationships. So let's kind of understand this. Like, women's fantasy is to have Prince Charming roll up, and she just doesn't do anything. She's just how she is good enough, and she's gonna get the world from this guy. So he gets the most handsome. He's rich. He's done, and he's a prince, and he's just gonna cater to her. Like, that sounds like ridiculous, right? So like the opposite of that to men is like, you're gonna find a girl. You don't have to become much. She's gonna like you for who you are, and she's gonna be your soulmate for the rest of eternity. It's not gonna happen, guys. It's like how girls think of Prince Charming. It's like guys think of a soulmate. This one-itis disease. It's foul thinking. The probabilities of that happening are like, people win the lottery all the time, but most likely I'll put a bet that it's not going to be me. So that's why I don't play. You got to look at it that way. It does happen, but the numbers are against you. So this is what you have to understand. Sometimes it's like a quality relationship. Sometimes when you're young, you don't know what a quality relationship is. So when you get into relationships, you start finding out what you like and don't like. So once you start dating and you start dating these girls, you're like, oh, okay. For example, I dated a single mom, and I was like, oh, now I know how it is. I don't want to do that. I dated a girl that was real good in the beginning, and then I found out what kind of family she has. So if you're dating her, you're dating her family. And I was like, oh, okay, so I have to look at the family. And then I was dating this one girl. She was really good looking and everything, but she didn't watch her diet. I was like, what kind of future am I going to have with her? So once you start dating, you start developing what I call a dating evolution. You start seeing what you're looking for. You start prioritizing what's important. Sometimes, guys, we just focus on the sex. If we're thirsty and we just want to get laid, we kind of like overlook a lot of things. We're all guilty of it. I've done it myself. And the thing is, when you do that, you're not really seeing far ahead. You're just seeing, I want to get sex right now. I want to get that fulfilled. And then once you do that, you get fulfilled, then you start seeing the next problem. You're like, the next problem is, man, I don't really like this girl. Or she's really dumb. Yeah, she's hot, but she's dumb. Like, I don't even like to hang out with her. I can't have a meaningful conversation. I can't do this. I'm like, okay. Oh, but she has a nice ass. So you start seeing, oh, okay, looks isn't enough. So you get past that battle. And then you date girls that are like, man, her finances are all over the place. So you start seeing the bad things and the bad side of women. So that's why you start getting better. So the reason to date is to improve on the girl. That's why I have it. You should play, replace, and upgrade as you escalate. You should always be growing. Now, the reason that you should always be growing is because that's how girls look at guys. That's what's attractive. Girls are in business and they want an investment, and a guy's an investment. What they want is to get somebody because they're interested in his future. So if you're always escalating, they'll be chasing. That's just how it works. And as they chase, you get the best ones that chase you, and they upgrade with you. And if they don't, believe me, somebody else will notice and you can replace her. So it seems kind of dark that you're gonna just use them and do this. No, it's not. That's not how it is. The thing is, as you go through life, you should auto-correct and refine, just like anything else. If you play sports, you correct your errors and you refine them. If you're in a business, you auto-correct the things that you're doing wrong and you refine them. Why would it be different with relationships? It's the same thing. So this is how you have to think about it. Think about how women do it. Women are very pragmatic. They'll pretend they're romantics, but they're very pragmatic. And they say men, they say they're pragmatic and they're really romantics. So that's what goes around and people say. And it has a lot of truth to it. So what women do is look at it how they date. They're always upgrading. It's like that's why there's hypergamous nature. They're always gonna play, replace, and upgrade relationships. They do it naturally. If he loses his job, if he's not performing, if he's not doing his duty, guess what? Divorce, next. They just replace that problem with a new guy. And it's easy. Even society says it's okay. So men, I'm telling you, you can do the same as women. They do it. Just use their mating strategy. So I have two conditions. When you're dating, don't do these two things. Don't sleep around with very promiscuous women because they're more likely to have a disease. So don't get an STD and don't get her pregnant. Because if you get an STD, it's going to ruin the rest of your life if it's not curable. The other one, if you get her pregnant, you're committed to that responsibility. So do whatever you have to do. Use condoms, get a vasectomy, or just pull out on time. But you have to trust yourself. You're in the moment. Sometimes it's hard, guys. No pun intended. So think about it like this. A quality relationship sometimes only lasts, like the typical relationship only lasts like 17 months, like 2 years, a little bit below 2 years, a little bit after 2 years. So think about it this way. Would you rather have, say, 20 relationships that are 2 years long and they're all quality, and when you see the red flags, you exit? So you have to plan it to exit. Why? Because you're not going to get it right from the first time. When you start dating stuff like that, it takes a while until you're like 40, between 40, 50, late 30s, you get a good experience. And maybe then that's when you should settle down. But if you have that all the experience, then that's good, because girls get a lot of experience when they're young. They date a lot. A lot of guys are after them. They get a lot of social skills when they're young. Guys don't get that many girls, so it's prolonged. So when you get the skills and you develop the experiences, you'll accumulate a bunch of them by the time you're 40 or a little bit after 40, and then you know what to look for, and then you know what the right girl looks like because you've been through them. So look at it this way. Would you rather have 20 2-year relationships and they all been good, or would you rather have maybe one 40-year relationship long term and just the beginning was good? Because if you ask any couple, just the beginning was good most of the time. So you better play the numbers in your favor. You better prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And the best thing to do is have that insurance. Women do it. They have marriage and they have kids. So marriage is leverage. The way that they do it is, if it doesn't work out, I divorce him, I take half of his empire, he pays alimony. And as a bonus, if he has kids, you're going to pay child support. See, they're very smart. You're going to have to do the same thing. But what is your insurance? What's the skills you're going to develop? Because you need to escalate as an investment in yourself. So if you invest in yourself, if you're going to escalate, whether you have a girlfriend or not, it's still good for you, regardless. So there's some guys out there that say it's not worth it, but it's worth it to you. You need to do the work for you. And as you escalate, guess what? You're going to naturally attract attention. Somebody's going to be interested in you, but you have to have the right protocol, the right guidelines. Go for the quality relationship, and you got to look for those signs. And you have to do it slowly as a relationship matures. Because when you date somebody, usually you're just dating the representative in the beginning. That's why it takes a while to get to know them when the true colors come out. And that's why it lasts 2 years. Because they're just acting until they get leverage on you. That's just most women. That's how it is. So that's why I say you got to prioritize quality relationships over long term. Because the value metric of measuring a good relationship is not how many years you've been putting up with each other's shit. It's basically how much time have you spent and you enjoyed each other's company. What happens is there's a lot of actresses out there. So women will treat you good until they get what they want. And what they want sometimes is marriage. They'll guilt you. They'll do this. They'll make the relationship toxic, and they'll say the marriage will fix it, or you don't love me. You got to be careful, because once they get what they want, then they're not going to treat you as good anymore. The reason that they treat you good, the actress, the representative, the face that they put on, is because they're chasing that leverage. Most of them. Okay? So that's what they're doing. So just pretend that they're all the same. Because if she is truly a good person, she doesn't want to have that leverage. Or she doesn't want to have kids with you if you don't want to have kids. She's not going to pressure you into doing something. If she really wants to be with you, why does she have to have marriage? The reason that she wants to have marriage is because of societal standards. But if she really wants to keep you, she'll keep staying with you. Because she really wants to be with you. Does she care about more the marriage, or does she care about the man? If she already has a man, then why does she have to have the marriage? And it's a manipulation tactic. It's a persuasion tactic. It's an influence tactic. You can call it whatever you want. But no matter what, marriage is leverage. So if you have a quality relationship and you don't want to get married, well, sometimes you just got to let her go and get the next one. Because if she really liked you, she would stay with you. What she wants is an insurance check. So most relationships are just good in the beginning because you're dating the representative. Once the mask comes off, then you see the real person. But the best thing is stay stuck in the honeymoon phase. Stay stuck in the representative. If that was her true self, she'll stick around. If not, then you replace her and you upgrade. But the key thing is that you have to escalate. If you just grow to a certain point, then you're just going to get stagnant girls around that level. You got to keep going. If you're escalating, they're chasing. That's just how it works. So don't put long-term relationships valuable just for how many years you've been together. It depends on the quality of time that you have spent together that you enjoyed. And sometimes maybe you're going to have more relationships that are smaller duration because those women were just actresses and it just took a while for that to come out. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Please share, subscribe, and all those good things. Thank you.